So we're here today with Evariste Aohoui, founder of PARO CI. Now, I know that translated to English, that means waste management and recycling program, right?
Yeah.
But what's the full name of the company in French? Because my French is the worst.
It is PARO CI.
Oh, really?
PARO CI. PARO CI programme,
Yeah.
assainissement, recyclage, ordures.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for that, and thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
So what exactly is PARO CI and what is the mission?
PARO CI is an organization addressing environmental issues and mainly recycling of electronic waste. And the mission is to ensure a proper recycling of all the equipment that turn into waste. Because the idea came when I realized that people are big consumer of electric and electrical and electronic equipment. So in our home, for example, we have fridge, we have a TV set, we have radio set, we have conditioner, we have so many things. But 5 years later, then all these devices turn into waste. So now, when the idea came, we had no formal, program locally to address that issue. So we have some informal actors who used to collect all these devices and try to destroy them, and then to throw some fraction into the environment, creating a very serious environmental issue. So I say, but let's do something about that. Let's try to do something. Because if we are not doing something, then we turn our country into a numeric asymmetry. And we all will feel the consequence, of the bad management of these waste. So let's try to do something. So I started that organization in 2011. And with some friends, I share my idea. I tried to convince some friends to come with me, vote with me. So we started small with just very small and specific activities like cleanup. We go here and there organizing cleanup as volunteers and taking that opportunity to sensitize people about why is it so important that we keep our environment clean. And this is the message that we want to share with them, because we depend on our environment. So if we are not capable of protecting our environment, then we all will feel the consequence. So for example, we used to fall sick, and then we have environment degradations, and we eat some polluted foods, because all these stuff, everything is interrelated. So I think that they understood the message. So more and more people come to me, and then we, when we are numerous enough, to start big action, then we started. And then with the support of a U.S. embassy, because I'm also I got a scholarship, yes, with U.S. departments, and then I go to United States to learn what social entrepreneurship is, because when I started, I had no idea that this kind of work is social entrepreneurship. I just wanted to do something for my community because I feel it from inside. That's all. So the mission, to come to your question, the mission is really to share, information about environment, to make people aware that it is important that we keep our environment clean, that we depend on that environment, and that together we can do something to ensure a proper, environment protections. So this is the key message that we want to share with people. And it is later on that we start addressing e-waste, because e-waste reveal the major, issue that among all the different environmental issues that we used to address. So we had a focus on e-waste and start working on that issue since 6 years now.
You've mentioned when the idea came to start this business, and you said when the idea came, like, it was so easy, like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to start a business. But what really like motivated you, or at what point did you say that, okay, I'm going to do this? Was there any specific event that took place?
Yeah. Because, when I still student, then we all complain. Even when I was still younger, until I go to university, we all complain about Abidjan. We say Abidjan is very dirty. Abidjan is very, very dirty. So you will hear people from all day long complaining about, the fact Abidjan is dirty. And one day I was sitting and I said, but it is true, on TV, people showing Abidjan is dirty, etc., etc. But one day I was just thinking and I said, but we all complain that Abidjan is dirty. But we are not taking actions to fight. We are complaining. We think that the government will be coming to us to clean our house. I don't know, but anyway. So nobody wants to act, but we all are ready to complain. So I say, okay, let's try to do something. Yes, let's try to do something. It is true that the thing that I will do will be very, very small. It will be a drop in the ocean, but let's try to do something. So we started like that. And it's true, when Abidjan dirty, when you go, you see here and there, rubbish here. Abidjan is very dirty, really. And I think that you experience, what I'm talking about, because all around here you will see people, you will see cars, we see discarded electronic devices here and there. So Abidjan's, it is a fact that Abidjan is dirty, but you won't find a lot of people acting, to fight pollution in Abidjan, or trying to ensure a very proper waste management system, So it is not, for Ivorian people are not really. I can explain it. They don't like such work because they think it's dirty. You see, I went to university, I study, and today I'm just working waste. So people say, but the man, he should be crazy. All his friends are working in the office, and then he just want to make his life, make a living. Working in waste. He does it. It's something is not working, So, but as I was explaining that, I feel it, deep in my inside. I just want to do something. I think it is something we cannot explain. You see the problem, and then automatically you feel, the desire to do something about that. So it is not something that we explain. Maybe it's a gift, maybe it is a predisposition. I don't know, but whenever that the problem is there, then I'm likely to take actions just to do something about that. So it's from my nature. And this also contributes to what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Actually, what did you study in school? Did it have anything to do with technology, or what informed your decision to go particularly into e-waste?
Nothing. No. I study literature. Nothing to do with environment, nothing to do with engineering, nothing to do with all that stuff. But since I like it and I want to do something about it, so I learn it after. So it is not my educational background, to be what I am today. Maybe teacher, yes, French teacher, something like that, but not someone working in a technical, area like waste management. No.
So did you get the skills to bring this project to life, for example, when you went to the US or through, because I know you're also an Ashoka Fellow.
Yeah.
Or how did you get these skills?
I get these skills when I started, then it's come a time I say, okay, alone I cannot do something. It is true that I got a good desire to do something, but desire is not sufficient to change the world. We need more than that, we need skills. And I say, okay, let's go and find partners, technical partners, to share experience, to know me how to do that. And I think that in 2012, I got a chance to have a partner, to have a partnership with a French company, specializing in recycling activities. So everything started there. So I say, okay, it is true. I'm ready to work with you. I don't need money. What I need is key. So if you can transfer the competence, if you can teach me how to do this. If you can share your experience with me so that I got a skill to do, it's great. So let's start something. So we started something, and then I didn't get money back, but I get ski. Ski is what give money later. All right.
Is that true that you didn't need money?
No. I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't ask for money when we in that partnership. I just wanted to have ski, because I say I need ski. If they're giving money that they don't give me ski, I will spend the money, and then I will find myself in a position I need ski. So the lack of ski will maybe be a very big obstacle for the progress of my work. So I say, okay, so let's first find ski. And when you have ski, working, running that skillful work will lead to create, wealth. So skill what create wealth, So and then I was right, because when I finished with them, I got a ski, and then I go to a second partnership with another French recycling company. But as I already have a basic ski for that work, I felt more comfortable when discussing with them, because I know that, okay, I got a basic skill, now we can talk business, And but I say, okay, let's talk business, but I also need your ski. So let's say I have business, I have ski, all right? Don't give me, 100% money. I just need 50% money and 50% ski. So we built the partnership in that way. And today we had a very first formal platform in Abidjan. And that company is really a good partners, a good technical partners, because they really empower my teams and make us able today to run the whole activities, collection, dismantling, sorting out the waste, how to do all that stuff, the pollution, all that stuff, So we got that skill from the different partnership that we have. And it is later on that in Ashoka, field that I understood that my way of doing is co-creations, because I say, yeah, you got a skill, I got the, I got the organizations, we can come together to do something. Yeah, so I don't need money, yes, true, but you put your skill, and then I put what I can do, and then we create wealth, and then we can share the wealth that we create later. And so we co-create something, and what we are doing today is just the pure fruit of co-creations. Yes, because investment came later, but basically we say, okay, let's try to do something. You got a team, you got you got a network, you got everything, so you can do something locally, okay? So the partner say, okay, let me give you some ski, and let's try to have give you all things that you need, the tools to work. And we put all these together and then create, the platform. And today the platform is one of, I was playing, it's one of the, or if you want, the single or the unique, yes, platform existing in Abidjan here. And it is a pleasure that people are inviting us to go to other countries to share our experience. For example, we go to Senegal, we go to Burkina Faso, everywhere in West Africa to share experience, because something good is starting here, and then we have to share with our other communities facing the same issue, ewaste challenge. Yeah.
Speaking of teams and co-creation, you've mentioned that you had to convince your friend to join you on this journey. Mm-hmm. How did that conversation look like? How did your family and your friends react when you decided that you're going to start this?
Yes, for my family, it was difficult, because I'm the elder of the family, so I'm the one who was supposed to work very quickly to assist the younger brothers and sisters. So when that person come to you one day and say, okay, I'm no longer interested in teaching, in doing this and that, I want to manage waste. So people, they used to think you crazy, because normally you go to school, you go to university, so you have to work to have a decent work, yeah, and make money and help the family. But When I started, and maybe 1 year or 2 years, I got a scholarship to go to another state. They understood that the small business or the small organization that started can grow and can have major impact. For example, basically, they don't have the means to send me to another state. So it is the waste that they don't want me to work in. That is sending me to the United States today. So they understood that, okay, we don't have means to send a guy to the United States, but now the small things that waste management started, opened the door to him and is going to the United States today. So it must be something serious. So let us let him work, because one never knows. And after, when I started doing traveling, around the world, everywhere, etc. Because I also got a scholarship and I go to India. So because they saw what I'm doing, they say, wow, that's amazing. Go and learn from Indian experience and share what you have been doing here. So I went there to study how I can link employment generation to waste management. So it's in India that I started, in Labour Institute of Vivigiri that I started that. I studied that, and I think the family, all this convinced the family that, yeah, but the man, maybe he was right. Let's Evariste work, because and for the friends it was difficult, because we started, but some friends think that it is when you start a business today, tomorrow then you have money. So when they come and 1 year later they understand that, okay, they are not making million, so they say, okay, this is a waste of time. I have many of my friends who joined, and after we withdraw because they were a little bit deceived. They say, okay, it is true, but it's not really what we wanted. We just want money, and when it comes to you, you are not talking about money. You are talking about let's change the world, let's do that, let's create impact in our community, let's make people live properly, let's try, So it's something many people, from my friends, they didn't understand. But finally, those who share the same feeling, they stay. Yeah, so building also a team, you need first of all to experience with them what you want to do first. And those who understand it, who love it, and who want to work will stay with you. But to those who are really, because you are freshly coming from the United States, they think that when joining you, they will go to the United States too. That it's not the same feeling after. Sometimes they come and 1 year later, we don't have any opportunity to travel. They say, oh, but I think that I'm wasting my time here. I need to go back, to my own business. So many people, let me down. But today I got a team I can count on, because I know that they are sharing the same thing with me. We had the same philosophy, we have the same vision. Even though today I'm no longer, from this, I die or I travel, I go far. I'm cocksure that the business, won't die, because people, they got a skill, they got the same feeling, and then they are doing pretty much the same thing with. So there is no reason the business die. I already have some people who can really make the business sustainable, even though I'm not around. So this is the most important thing.
First, I'm very curious, what kept you going at that point? Because you're a young man, all you have is an idea, you don't have the skill, you don't have the funds, your friends and your family think you're crazy. How did you manage to push past that?
Yeah, it was very difficult. Yeah, it was some time, it's just because I'm passionate about what I wanted to do, that maybe I got the strength to keep up. Because sometimes you don't have means, you don't have funds, you have anything apart from the idea that you have in your mind. So you want to change the world with just an idea that you have in your mind. You have nothing apart from the idea. So how do you want to change the world in that situations? It was really step by step. step by step. It takes time because I was playing that I go to United States in 2010. So I started my business in 2009, and I was teaching. So I left this job, I resigned because I was so passionate about that job that I say, let's go deeper. Let's do in a perfect way I can do this. And if I fail, then the problem won't be related to maybe the lack of experience or the lack of passion. So let's go deeper until we touch the bottom. When you touch the bottom, if we fail, then even though we fail, but we would have learned so much that when we go to another business, for sure that we won't be in the same situation. We won't, sometimes when it's the first time, there are some mistakes that you use to make. But when you got experience and then you go to another business, for sure that you will avoid a lot of mistakes, for sure. So experience in everything, the most important thing is experience. So I started, I go step by step. Sometimes I used to work kilometers, sometimes 5 kilometers to go for a cleanup with no money in my pocket even to buy to buy water, and to walk 5 kilometers to go back home. But I don't. And finally, to feel happy because you just make it, And it was difficult. Really, it's a story, a long story to tell, but it was really step by step. It took time. It took time. It took a lot of energy. But my dream was that I have to make it. And finally, sometimes I have to teach, some students at home to make money and to invest that money that I had from my small job that I used to do in my business. Sometimes when a friend come and help me for a cleanup, I have to pay the transport so that I go back home and I work, to go back. To go back home. So people can't understand it. It's really something I don't know. Even today, sometimes when I think to my past, and there are some facts I cannot even explain. I was so passionate about what I was doing that I say I will succeed. Yes, and even in 2010 when I finished my training in the United States. We had the opportunity to be taught by Ashoka at university, and there they describe the program, and they say it's possible that one day you guys become Ashoka Fellow. So I say okay, it was in 2010, and then I turned, and 6 years after, almost 7 years after, then I became Ashoka Fellow, and then I think that I'm the only one from all the generation that that were trained in that SUSI program in the United States. I was the only one Ashoka Fellow from all that stuff that the United States trained. So to say that maybe what I'm driven by my passion. So I say, okay, I will make it. I have big dream. I have passion as a tool, and all the remaining stuff will come naturally. So when you got a big dream and then you are passionate about your dream, nothing can stop you until you reach your objective. You make it. Believe me.
So let's talk about the process of the e-waste management exactly. What does that look like from beginning to end?
From beginning, at the very beginning, of the chain, then we have sensitization. Because if people, they don't care about what you're doing, they don't care about waste management, it will be difficult, for example, that they sort the waste out. But when people are not sorting out the waste, it becomes difficult to value the waste. Imagine that they put organic waste, electronic waste, all that stuff in the same bins, so it will be complicated. So we spend a lot of time and we keep spending time to sensitize people about recycling generally and e-waste recycling specifically. After that, when they understand it, then when, for example, they have a discarded device, in their living room or at home, since they are sensitized, they can call you to come, or they can just allow you to collect all that stuff. But if they don't understand, so they will never let you to collect the waste. Sometimes it's waste, they are doing nothing with it, but they never give you access to collect that waste. So you will see in the living room the TV set of 1960, for example, I don't know, but people, there is sort of link that they have. Okay, that TV set, it belonged to my grandparent. My grandparent gave it to my father gave it to me, and then we give it to, but it's discarded. But people, they keep it. So you see, so you need to talk a lot, you need to sensitize them so that they understand that the only fact that they are living with, that e-waste, it's a problem for them, because they are likely to fall sick as they breathe, pollution, etc. So after collections, we transport all the waste to our platform. So we have a physical platform. And then when we arrive there, we try to know exactly, we try to sort them out. Yes, so we have, for example, the mobile cell, we have the TV set, we have the radio set, so we have some people who separate the waste, category by category. And after separation, then we have depollution. Because some specific waste, we need to depollute before you dismantle. If not, the risk is too high, So we have depollutions, and after depollution, we will also separate the different components that we have. For example, when you take a TV set, that you depollute, that you dismantle. Then we have plastic, you have aluminum, you have copper, so we separate all different components. And the different components will be valued. But for the component that we cannot value locally, then we transfer them to our partners, technical partners in France, to take it in charge. So we are working in a policy of zero waste. So we are not throwing waste into the environment. No, it's the problem that we are fighting. So we need, first of all, to show the example to other people. So we value almost 70% of the waste that you collect locally, and then the 30% remaining go to our partners to get recycled there, because maybe for the time being we don't have different material to do that, but we are planning the development of our project to have additional, to material to our platform to be able to recycle almost 90% of the waste that we collect. Yes, but for the time being, we only recycle locally 70%. Yeah, not more.
Okay. Do you collect only from households or also from organizations?
There, we work a lot. So our work is, we have, first of all, what we used to do, I understood that if I have to go from house to house, then it will cost a lot. I will get tired very quickly, and then maybe I will withdraw. So how to reach the maximum of people, using only one channel, not going there. And also engaging, strategically speaking, some other partners. For example, we have the corporate social responsibility of companies. I saw that is something amazing that we can use to address the waste issue. Yeah, because if a company understands, because first, nothing to say, the company has a lot of means compared to what we have today. So if we get them on board with us, they will be sharing their means with us. So where normally without them, we are obliged to pay before we have the service, they can do it for us because they are on board. For example, communications. Communication costs a lot of money. But when I'm working with a partner, for example, MTN is a partner. So I'm working with MTN foundations. And then we used to organize big campaigns. One campaign for the corporates, to sensitize the corporates, to say, okay, you guys, it's true that you are looking for money, that's good, but you also need to take into account the environment. Let's try to do something together. Your waste can be recycled properly. And the platform will provide all the different paper that justify that you are responsible. You are responsible. You are a company caring for the environment. You can even try to tell that story in your strategy or when your communication to say, yes, we are happy to work with PARO CI. All our waste are recycled properly. We are no longer throwing them in the environment. We change. So you guys come and buy our products because we are responsible. So something like that. So now we are recycling the waste of many companies locally. We are working with African development. We are working with some American companies. We are working with the Abidjan autonomous ports. We are working we are working with many companies because we succeed in getting them on board with us. And sometimes some companies say, okay, you are doing great. So what we have to do, if you are interested, we can organize a campaign for you. We organize the campaign, we collect the waste for you, to get recycled. And this is exactly the system we just want to have. We have to have a collection system where partners are collecting the waste for us. Yes. So the companies are collecting the waste for us. So now, if you go, we just concluded a partnership with the supermarkets. So if you come back to Abidjan in 3 months, when you go to a supermarket, then we have everywhere, like in South Africa, where you are going to, where people, when coming to shop, they can just drop, use the equipment in a box. And then our team come just to collect them, And we are working with many companies to have such a collection system in place to make sure that, in every city, the companies are just helping us to collect the waste. We are also working with the town hall. Yes, to say, hey, you guys, it's your responsibility to clean the city. The municipalities, it is your responsibility to clean the city. So now consider that we, PARO CI, are coming to help you. Yes, so if you can do something, we can do something, that would be great. So you can say, yes, thanks to that program, the city will be cleansed. But we, PARO CI, will have access to the material that to get recycled, to get them recycled. So we're using that channel. And then we also working with university because we understood that it's important that the students understand. So the student studying environment science, something like that. So we are offering, internship, to PARO CI, where they come, they see what we do, they write a paper, they publish their paper so that people can see and have access to information online. And sometimes we are even receiving people from even friends. Some people are coming from distant place to remote place to see what we're doing and to work with us. And we are also publishing some. I have a book. I wrote a book about ewaste, a circular economy, that is online, that you can on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. So we are doing all this to sensitize people, but also to get people engaged with us, because we can never have greater impact and have a systemic change if we are not engaging other partners, strategic partners. It's very important. In the same way, yesterday we didn't have means to build a platform, and thanks to a partnership that we have with a co-creation partnership, today we have a platform we can have. Yesterday, to collect the waste and to transport the waste to our place, to our warehouse, it was difficult because we needed, car to do that, but thanks to, co-creation, today we have many cars to collect the waste. So co-creation is really the answer to young entrepreneurs who would not have enough means, because through co-creation they can have access to all they need to work properly. The only thing that they have to understand is that if we go alone, then it's not even sure that you had objective, you create wealth, the social impact that you want to create. But if you co-create with other people, it is true that you will have bigger social impact, but you also have important wealth. The only thing is that you have to be ready to share the wealth with other people you are co-creating with. So if naturally you don't want to share the wealth with with other people, so you will find co-creation difficult. So the idea is, okay, it's true, I don't have any problem to share the result with you. Today, PARO is working, but you see, many companies here can communicate and say, yes, we are doing that. So they are using sometimes our work to say, okay, we are doing good job on collection. The collection is just the first step. It is just the beginning of recycling process. So the fact to create, you collect the waste doesn't mean that you are really involved in recycling, because you just create. So it's just one part of recycling program. But we are ready to say, okay, we are even ready to share the result of our recycling program with them, to say, okay, what you collected, this is the result, this is the different paper, this is how we get them recycled on our platform, so that the different document that we produce to them, to encourage them to let them know that we have a transparent, systems. To convince them that we are serious, so that we are accountable, so that they can go far with us. So sharing the result, it's also a way to tell them that, hey, you guys, we can go. We can keep up that good job. You can even get involved more than what you have today, because you got a good partner that is PARO CI. So we are using such a system, such a method, to convince people to get with us, to come with us, so that we co-create and try to fix that issue of e-waste. But the most important thing, finally, is to have a recycling program, sustainable recycling program, where we are sure that the waste that we have are recycling properly, that can create job opportunities, that also we can create wealth, and that wealth is shared, among different partners who are co-creating. So that is the most important thing for us. This is exactly what we're doing.
Speaking of social impact, I read somewhere that there's something that you're trying to do to bridge the digital divide.
The digital gap.
Maybe you can talk more about that.
Yeah, to bridge the digital gap, today people are very iPhone, they are very technology, they are using technology, etc. But most of the people using technology are the people who got means. So when you see people with an iPhone, it means that that person got a means to buy an iPhone. But when you see on the other side, some people are there, they are poor. They are living, in a very difficult situations. They don't have telephone, they don't have TV set, they don't have a radio set. Sometimes some people, some students from these families are going to school, and if they are studying, for example, IT, that the parents don't have means to buy a computer to give to the children to have good result, then it becomes difficult, So we used to see some people who, for example, they used to go to their friend to say, you guys, can you give me your computer for 1 hour, because I have an assignment, I have to do something very quickly, I have something like that, And the consequence is that if they don't have the basic thing, the tools to train, then they will be very, very bad engineers, for sure. because they didn't have time to train. So we understood that when we say, okay, so what we have to do is, on the left side, some people are throwing out, they're just getting rid of the used equipment. For example, those who have iPhone 2, they buy iPhone 3 and then they just throw out iPhone 2. And so if we can collect all this stuff, we can repair them and then give it, and allow people who have limited means to have access to all these things that we repair. It will be good. And then if we have all these family in our database, following them, so that the equipment that we give them today, they will take profit from that. But in 1 year or 2 years, then we'll go back to them. So for sure that this equipment that we repair will turn into waste. They'll be, discarded. So we replace, giving them new equipment and collecting the old one, so that we can recycle on our platform. So before we recycle the equipment, we make sure that that equipment have a social advantage or social impact in the life of poor communities. So we are just postponing to the date of dismantling, making sure that that's a time to get profitable from poor families, So if we are thinking to poor people, because since I'm even coming from poor community, so I understand what it is like, to not to be able to have this, even the basic thing that we need to go to school, for example, it's placing these people, in our policy and making sure that thanks to our program, they have a computer, they have TV set, they have a radio set to follow information, to listen to information. It can be good for our program. So we are doing that. So we are increasing in the same time the number of people having access to technology. Because yesterday, for example, they don't have access to this. And thanks to the program today, you can see some people, with laptops, some people on internet, some people with mobile sets, some people with, with radio set, listening to information. So it is small what we are giving, we are offering to the community, but it is something changing their life. It is something improving their life. So we think that we can bridge the gap by doing that, that small actions, toward the community. I think that it is something that it's not nothing. It doesn't cost enough money, but it has a very huge impact in the life of these communities.
No, Evariste, I don't think that's something small. I think that's something grand that you're doing.
Yeah.
How do you find the different people of the different communities to give this recycled equipment, for example,
to give the equipment that we will be using for the poor communities?
Exactly.
We explain the program. Now it depends now to the people who have the equipment. Some people say, okay, it is true. We are giving our equipment, but we want this equipment to be classified in the category of, in the social category. So when we explain the program, then we explain the 2 wings of the program. Because some companies, for example, are so strict, on the process of waste recycling that never they will give the equipment to other people to reuse, never. So they use the equipment, go straight to destruction. We have to destroy just because they have some important data inside. They don't want to run the risk that people, even though we explain to them that we all have our the skill, to delete, all the different personal information on the hard disk, etc. But they say, no, we just want our equipment to be destroyed. So for them, we take the equipment, we go to the platform, and then we apply our methodology to destroy. But some people are more receptive. They say, wow, this is great that our used equipment can really be benefits to other people. So feel free to use this equipment, you know, to change the life of that poor communities. So it depends on the people or the companies, or I don't know, but it always depends on the person who are giving. If the person wants it, because we always need, you know, the permission of that person, because we know exactly the use we'll make, you know, the equipment. If the person wants us, you know, to use it, you know, just to give it to repair and give it to the community, we'll do so. If they don't want, and they just want to go, that we destroy, you know, the equipment, that since they don't want, you know, the equipment to be reused, we do the same. We take the equipment and then we go for destruction. So we always explain. And today we have two types of people who are donating. The people who are donating for social purpose, and then the people who are donating for this. But most of the corporates are donating for destruction, because they are not really feeling social, you know, work. No, but some people, some companies are very receptive. For example, we have a program. Even the African Development Bank say, okay, if we can reuse it, that's great, because if you know, so we have big companies or big organizations who will say, okay, feel free, you know, to take this to the poor communities and help them. So we have two categories of people giving, and we are always attentive to what they want us to do. We give, if we have the permission, then we to go for social purpose. If they just want us to destroy, then we destroy. Yeah.
What about the communities that are receiving this equipment? How do you identify who to give to?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are working with other organizations, because we are going to some organization. You know, since we are not living in that organization, in that company, community, so sometimes it's difficult to know who is really the family in need of this equipment. So for that, we are always working with NGOs, or some NGOs based in the communities and already working, you know, with poor people. So that we make sure that these organizations can direct us to the people who are really in need of this equipment. So we are not going to take it at random, because we understood that if we to do that, then we'll be giving not to the right people, the people who are really in need. So we collaborate with already the organization in the community, and then together we try to identify the family. We try to investigate to make sure that the family is really in need before we decide to assist that family.
Thank you so much for all these valuable and inspiring shares.
Thank you.
I have one question. The problem of e-waste is so big that basically it needs 100 or 1,000 people, just like you, creating e-waste social businesses, companies around Africa or around the world even. And my question is, for someone that is interested in starting their own e-waste business, what would you advise them to do? Which steps would you advise them to take?
Thank you. I think that for those who are interested in setting up their own e-waste business, the first thing is that they have to understand is that it is, you know, we are in the technical area, you know, we are talking about recycling, and then we are talking about electrical and electronics. And then we have such activity like dismantling, depollution. So it's very technical. Yeah. So the first thing that they have, you know, they have to look for, first of all, it's no money to start. It is first of all skills. It is they have first to understand what they have to do, because e-waste, yes, e-waste. When they have some documentation about e-waste, they understand e-waste. They understand the opportunities linked to e-waste. They understand also, because we don't only have opportunities, we also have a lot of challenge, risk. We have some international norms, we have some national norms, we have a national framework. So it's organized, you know. So we have an institutional aspect, we have technical aspects. So they have to understand all these, you know, stuff, the environment of waste first, and the recycling. Once they have a lot of information about that, the next thing is skills. And then the only one way to get skill is to have technical partners. Where they learn to do, you know, to learn how to do it is very important. Once they have it, then they can start a business. Yes, because it is not easy. To be frank with you, e-waste recycling is a very difficult, a very challenging area. Yes, even today, we're still learning, we're still going here and there. For example, sometime I decided to be consultant for university here, or from Abidjan district department, just for one thing. I know that it will cost money that I don't have to travel to go to, for example, South Africa to learn how they get waste recycled, to go to a plant to see how the different steps, how everything is organized. I don't have means for that. I don't have money for that. So the only way, sometimes the only way I found to travel to all these countries is, for example, to say, okay, I will work for you. I am your consultant. I don't need your money. I will work for free. So I have such a contract with the district, for example, so that they send me everywhere in a context of an international program that we call ewaste, for example, that we completed 2 years ago. They sent me to France, they sent me to Belgium, they sent me to South Africa, they sent me to Kenya, they sent me to Ethiopia, they sent me to Gambia, they sent me to South, I don't know, to many countries. They sent me to so many countries, yeah? Maybe 5 countries in Europe and 10 countries in Africa, so 50 countries, 15 countries, just for e-waste, to go to the plant, to meet institutions. So I got a unique change to be around the table with UNIDO, with I don't know, but the international organizations, with the big recycling companies, international companies, just to talk, to discuss, to share the experience of Abidjan. I know that getting back home, yeah, I don't have salary, I don't have nothing. But I have information, I have contact, I have the network. So that when I complete the work, I can use this network. I can use the information that I get from this experience to improve the business, to improve PARO CI. So it takes time. So sometimes they need to think such a way. This is why I say it is very important to co-create. This is an answer to, we need to rethink entrepreneurship and place co-creation, since having access to funding here is so complicated. They never easily have access to funding. So the only way to do that is to co-create, always to co-create. Yeah, so I think that this is the best way and the best advice that I can give them. First of all, they have to learn about what they have to do. Then they have to try to develop a skill, the specific skill linked to recycling. And finally, they have to look for opportunity now to start the business. That is very important.
So from the time that you decided to leave your teaching job up till now and this whole journey, what has been your biggest learning that you would want to share with young people today?
That everything is possible. I learned that everything is possible. I learned that it's not because it is difficult today that we need to drop everything out. Yeah, because everything is difficult. all the good things, yes, are difficult. Yeah. So perseverance is something very good, very important that we need to teach. You need to be passionate about. First, you need to have dream. You need to know exactly what you want. Yes. And then you need to feel it. If you are not feeling it, then you need to dream again and find a job or another project. But you need to feel what you are doing. And even though it is difficult, you need to be happy when you are doing it. Because when you feel it, then you are always happy. Even though it is difficult, you are happy to do that. And you persevere. You persevere because you are passionate. If you are not passionate, never you will persevere. So perseverance is coming from passionate topics. Yeah. And hardworking is something also we need to teach. Yes, we need to work hard if you want to, if you have an objective and then you want to make it. Please make sure that it won't be easy. The only thing that will allow you, to go from a point A to a point B is the work. If you are a hard worker, if you are passionate about what you are working on, if you persevere whenever that it is difficult, I think that you will always be successful.